Hello, my name is Germana Ravanelli. I am a certified clinical hypnotherapist and an attachment theory relationship coach. I'm going to offer some information about how to create emotional mastery and emotional health by working with our subconscious mind. Many of us have very little information about the subconscious mind and how it works. And I find that educating people really allows them to go, oh, wow, I actually have some capacity to make a difference in my own life. The subconscious mind is the part of us that's being programmed basically from conception on the way through. And I'll just share some points with you. It's really important to understand how to master our emotional state by understanding the programs. A lot of people have shame and guilt and they think there's something wrong with them or that they're bad, when in reality, all that they're struggling with is a program that they've been taught to believe and they haven't learned to clear it or reprogram it. The key principles about how the subconscious mind works, we'll talk about that. It's really important to understand that we all are in a trance all the time, and most of what we're doing is repeating a trance that we've been taught to believe. And if we don't question it, it actually begins to become our life's theme. And I'm going to offer some reprogramming tools to start shifting old programs into new ones that are healthy and beneficial. Again, our quality of life is what really, really matters. And many people are suffering and they do whatever they can to move out of pain. And if they keep doing the same thing over and over again and not really accessing and using tools to reprogram the subconscious mind, it basically is like an old program that just keeps firing and firing and firing. So there's an equation that is really simple and it's really, really powerful, and you can do it at any level. It's called BTEA, and our belief systems basically impact our thoughts. So if I have a belief system that I was taught I wasn't wanted, or people don't like me, or I'm the wrong sex, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm in trouble, if I've been taught that as a very young little girl, I will have thoughts that will constantly flag to that. Am I doing something wrong? Have I done enough? And those thoughts then are just automated. They pop. And then they create actions of moving towards something, fixing something, making something better, or running away. And that can really show up in every area of our life, our relationships, our career, our finances, our emotional state, our physical state, our spiritual state are all impacted by our core beliefs. So a belief, I am lovable, creates a thought, oh, I'm safe to connect with people, creates an emotion, I am comfortable, I will let people into my life, and actions of reaching out, of letting people in, of letting myself receive connection. The opposite is also true. And for many people, especially people in the recovery world, they're so shame-based that they actually believe that they're bad and they're rotten, or that there's something wrong with them. And then that is like the little deep, nasty secret that lives inside. And that creates thoughts that they won't like me. What if I make a mistake? Oh, I'm fat, or I'm ugly, or something. The subconscious mind, through that belief, if it keeps the belief, will have all of these little bubble thoughts that will continue to pop up, that will actually run the person's life and contaminate it, which will create emotions. Oh, I'm ugly. Oh, people don't like me. Oh, I won't have the courage to step out of my comfort zone, and therefore the action becomes flatlined. So a belief, thought, action, emotion. And when you see someone that has a strong emotion, whether it's you or someone else, you want to ask, what am I telling myself? What am I making this mean? And the minute you track that, then you can ask, is what this means to me true, or is it a painful story? 99% of the time, it's a painful story, an unresolved core wound that hasn't been healed. And I'm able to offer support to actually heal those wounds. So if we tell ourselves negative stories, such as I'm not good enough, I'm disliked, then we feel uncomfortable. We have emotions like anxiety, fear, and despair. And if we change that story to I am good enough, I have done enough, I am lovable, I am worthy, then we feel more positive emotions and we're more willing to engage and grow as human beings. How our core wounds filter into experiences. The mind naturally interprets each experience through a filter. We call it our subconscious reality filter. It will actually create an image, and we will see something that our subconscious fabricates so it feels right. It's wanting to protect us from harm, even if there is no harm there. It will keep creating these scenarios that if you test them, they're not true, but if we don't test them, we actually believe them to be true. As a result, we project our core wounds onto the situation that we encounter. This happens a tremendous amount in relationships. It happens a tremendous amount with, basic self-care. If I have a belief system that there's something horrible about me, my self-care is not going to be very good. In fact, I'm going to think there's no use, there's no point. And if on the other hand, I have a belief that I've done enough, I'll have more energy and my actions will change, and I will do things that actually bring me joy, not from fear of making a mistake or fear of not doing enough. It'll be, oh, I'm enough, I've done enough. And a lot of people that when you see them overfunction or overwork or have anxiety and distress, their unconscious wound is, I'm not enough. And that creates addiction. It creates burning out. It creates depression, anxiety, and many other escaping behaviors. Here's an example, and a lot of the people that are in the dating world will get this. So here's an example. Bob doesn't call when he said he would. The experience is filtered through the wound of, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, I am disliked, etc. The person doesn't know that, but they have an emotion that comes with it. And we assume that Bob didn't call us back because these core wounds, they come up and we take it personally instead of going, maybe Bob lost his phone. But in the meantime, those thoughts create emotions, and those emotions then actually poison us and rob us of joy. So one of the auto suggestions that a person can use, say if you have a message that says, I'm really, what's one that's really, really easy? I'm not enough. And then the person then looks at that, and you look and maybe you start to write down, I am enough in the relationship area of my life today. And you pick 3 areas where you have emotions that you go, yeah, I had a nice meal with someone, I had a nice conversation, I did enough. And you take 3 things in that one area. I am enough, I've done enough, whatever it might be. I've worked enough, I've worried enough, I've worked out enough, I've made enough money, whatever it is. And you bring that to your relationship area. And every day at the end of the day, you write that in your journal and you let yourself actually feel it, not think it, but feel it, because your subconscious is your body. It's not your mind. And then you might go, I am enough in the career area today when I responded to this email and I responded in a kind way. I didn't assume I was being attacked. I assumed that I am enough and I'm bringing my love, my service to this situation. And I could also look at another place in my career area. I got 3 texts from somebody and I responded quickly and had a boundary about, I will respond on Monday. That's another area of saying I am enough, my needs matter. An example in an emotional area, I am enough. If the mind starts to bring up emotions that are painful, then a person can just ask, what's the feeling that I have? Maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's stress. And then go, what am I making this mean inside of me? What does this mean? And if someone's got a lot of shame, they'll go, oh, I'm in trouble, I'm bad, someone's mad at me, I haven't done enough. And if we don't interrupt that, then that person will live in that heightened state of distress for that day, that month, that year, that life, and they may actually completely burn themselves out. And so how could a person repattern that? I have done enough in the career area of my life. I worked from this time to this time. I did a good job. And you let yourself let it land. And then I am enough when I, responded to a request for information and I responded in a kind, gentle way. And I felt comfortable giving my information. I am enough as I acknowledge that when I work with someone, I'm actually sharing something that's very precious, my knowledge and my joy. Now, that's the opposite of thinking I've not done enough or I'm not good enough. And what happens is most people live with the I'm not enough wound running their life, and it damages their ability to have relationships. They'll transfer that hatred or shame onto their significant potential other, and the subconscious will make up stories. They didn't return my call because they don't like me. And it's not true. One of the best questions to ask is this true? Can I prove with 100% accuracy that it's true? And if you actually did that, you would discover how often your inner dialogue is lying to you. And it's being able to go, is this true? No, it's a painful story that's linked to a wound that says there's something not okay about me. And that's the subconscious injury that, again, can be healed. And I'm just giving a few different examples. And the other process is actually asking yourself when something pops, is this true? Is this another painful story? Most of the time it's a painful story. And then asking, is this good for me? And if it's good for me to keep telling myself this, awesome. If it's good for me to stop telling myself that, that's a self-care boundary. I will not allow myself to be wounded by this parrot mind that keeps saying things that are not true. I was raised, unfortunately, with parents that taught me I was not welcomed in this world, and I would have to do anything that they wanted me to do to survive. And I was brutally abused by my parents. So I grew up with a lot of really significant core wounds. And I was attracted to learning hypnotherapy because I wanted to feel comfortable in my own skin. I wanted to be able to have real relationships, not transactions. And I wanted to know who I am and my worth. And I did a tremendous amount of work there that has allowed me to go, oh my God, I'm so grateful to be alive. And then the next piece is to help other people take their power back. The difference between hypnotherapy and talk therapy is hypnotherapy accesses the subconscious mind, which is about 97% of our behavior because it's the emotions underneath. Conscious mind conversations are still great, but they don't actually help you reprogram the root cause. And if we don't program and reprogram the root cause, it's like a blackberry bush that just comes back stronger and stronger. And eventually, if we're triggered, the subconscious will put on its reality filter. I'm not safe. It's a not safe world. I need to go hide. I need to get into some sort of a adapting response to survive. And we don't heal if we don't feel safe. So once you remove the blocks that say there's something wrong with me, or I'm not safe, or I'm not lovable, or whatever the story is, and you feel that with your true self, which is love, you can heal almost anything. You can heal depression and anxiety and autoimmune diseases, and you can teach yourself to receive love and to fill your own bucket up instead of trying to get other people to give it to you. So I'm going to offer, more videos with time. I just really want to be in the right frame of mind when I share them because it needs to be something of value to you. And if you have questions or you're curious about hypnotherapy, emotional clearing work, feel invited, or attachment healing. Our attachment style is linked to our unresolved childhood wounds, which is how our subconscious mind is programmed. So if we know that and then we can start to heal that, then we can actually have healthy relationships instead of the same relationship over and over and over again with 500 different people, because our subconscious will go, oh, they're dangerous, I'm not safe, and it'll find a way to destroy the relationship to try to keep us safe from something that isn't actually real, which is injustice. So thank you for watching. Please share it. If you have a special request about hypnotherapy, I'm quite happy to answer it if I can. Signing out from Vancouver Island. Please like and share and subscribe to my page.